Hey y'all, I'm not very good at doing regular devlogs because frankly I'd rather be working on the game, but I thought it was important that I update you on what's going on and when you can expect the next update. And I also just have a big idea that I want to run by the regular players of the game because I don't want to make a big mistake and I could really use your input. So first, let me just kind of say where things are at. I've been excitedly redoing all the level art using Midjourney. I know there's thoughts on Midjourney and whether or not it's a good tool, whether I'm putting artists out of business. It's not really relevant here because I was never going to hire any artists in the first place. So don't worry, I'm not taking any artists' jobs here. It's just hopefully we get some better art, and it's all unique. Where the art that's currently in the game is just what I could find freely available or purchase very cheaply. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of show you some of the levels so far. So this is a brand new one, Ancient Oasis. I'm kind of making 5 biomes. So this is the desert biome where the Templar are from. And there's like a forest biome you'll see. Well, let's just go through them. Here's Arcane Intersection. This is in like the Magi Order biome. So all the towers, the barracks, the background art, it's all from Midjourney. I learned a lot about making stuff in Midjourney. It was a lot of trial and error, but now I kind of have it down. And so adding a new map only takes like 2 to 3 hours now. I've added 25 when all of this is done. But it was taking a lot longer than that at first. Here's Arid Junction. This is Astral Avenue. It's another one in Magi Order. I had a lot of kind of goals with recreating these maps. I got rid of all of those foot markers that made enemies go faster and slower because it was really confusing to new players. I tried to make the front towers less desirable than the back towers because the front towers are already desirable to get blitz kills and just because it's boring sitting and waiting in the back towers. And so there was that. And then I thought some of the paths were just too long. So I tried to make sure that none of them were too long. Here, this one you saw at the beginning of the video, Coastal Cliffs. So this is like the Elementals area. This is kind of like a forest area. This was the easiest one to get on Midjourney, by the way. Very easy to find forest art on Midjourney. I guess there's a lot of that in the training data. I also try to make it so the paths are more intuitive. A lot of new players were complaining that they couldn't tell which direction the enemies were going to go. And it also just feels weird. Like on Frozen Steps, one's like the enemy could just turn right there and go right to the barracks. Why are they going all the way over here? So I think there's only one exception. I might change it. Let's see, the new Cursed Sands. And actually, as you can tell, this looks nothing like the current Cursed Sands. So I'm probably going to change the name of most of these. Oh, you can see I got some art to clean up here. You can clearly see the outline there because I reduced the saturation and contrast of the background, but not on the prop. Trying to do in low contrast, low saturation backgrounds and high contrast, high saturation foreground elements so that they easily stand out from each other. This is the one map though where you can't really tell, like some of the enemies are going to go up here instead of just turning right here. So I might see what I could do there, but I did that because this path right here is much shorter than this path. And so if they follow the same path, then one path is just going to be a lot shorter. I try to keep the paths about equal length. But yeah, those are pretty much all of my goals. I'll show you the last few. So this is another Magi Order map. Here's Double Trouble. I just made a few changes. This is one of the few that I kept. Dune Gauntlet. Again, it doesn't look anything like the current Dune Gauntlet, so I'm probably going to change it. Oh, another thing I did was about 40% of the maps have this area completely clear so that altars that currently could only live on their like home map. So like Dune Gauntlet has the challenge altar. Right? Yeah. Now the challenge altar can appear on 40% of the maps because they have this whole area clear, and the new challenge altar is just like a vertical windy path. And same with the lava altar and the investment altar. And then I added one new altar. I might add a few more, but now those can appear. So any altar can appear on a lot of maps. Some of them can appear on every map, but then some of them they have to have this area clear because there might be a lot of players in there, like in the investment altar, or it needs that path. But now I have a lot more options and a lot more variance between altars showing up on different maps. I haven't done any of the snow ones yet. So this week I'm planning on finishing lava. Next week I'm planning on finishing snow. The week after that I'm planning on wrapping everything up, I think. But that brings me to the idea that I want to run by you. So let me talk about that as I show you these last few maps. Challenge waves. have been really hard to explain to new players. It's a weird system. The UI is weird because it's like down here in the bottom right corner, and it's like it's kind of attached to training, but it's also kind of attached to blitz kills, but it's also attached to like the enemy information up here. And that's why I did that animation where like you earn a challenge and it shoots it over to the enemy side. I'm trying to connect it all, and then you get multiple different rewards. You get these supply, which do multiple different things, and you get experience. And it was really confusing to new players. I think it probably still is, maybe to even some more veteran players, what was going on there, and how the whole system worked, and why it mattered, and how important was it really. So anyways, I have an idea for a much simplified version of the challenge system. I'm excited about it, but anytime I make huge changes to core systems, it ruins game balance, and it usually upsets veteran players. So my thinking right now is that it's probably worth it. I'm probably going to do it, but let me just pitch it to you. And then I would really like just as much feedback, just thoughts on whether this would be a big bummer to you or if you think I'm heading in the right direction. I did want to mention this is the Lost Desert map. I think I'm going to recall it Lost City because it kind of looks like it could be inside of a city. This is the only map where I'm more or less keeping the original art because Banduri put this together. Mine doesn't look as good as his. Maybe eventually I'll go back and clean up the edges a little bit here. But I did really like what Banduri did, and I wanted to keep one map with his. So the new challenge system, it would be synonymous with the Blitz system. So instead of having a Blitz system and a challenge system, it's just the Blitz system. I don't know what I'll call it, but there'd be one system. So that really simplifies things. I don't have to teach two different systems. It's just the Blitz system, and it goes like this. When you get a Blitz kill, you get one Blitz kill. That's all you get. There's no reward. Actually, sorry, there's a reward for that. When you get a Blitz kill, you get a little bit of power. Everyone on the top contributors board gets like a power potion worth of power. So there's like a little bit of incentive. Hey, if you got a Blitz kill, here's a little more power, and you can keep going, get a few more Blitz, or you can earn a bunch of power and then go spend it in the barracks and train up. But you also get one Blitz kill of 5. Once you get 5 Blitz kills, you get a challenge wave. If you beat the challenge wave, you just get a bunch of power. Everyone on the top contributors board gets like probably somewhere around 25 or 30 power. So like a big chunk of power. And now you can go use that to go train, or you can just kind of keep it rolling and power up there in the tower. And that's it. So very, very simplified. It also simplifies training versus defending. Because now, essentially, the only way to earn experience is to train. And it's very clear. If you want to level up, you go to the barracks. If you have some power, you can do it faster. But that also clears up one of the other confusing parts of the game, which is new players are constantly like, why are they in the towers the same level as me when I've been training this whole time? Like, how are they leveling up? That doesn't make sense. So this would really just clarify things. You go defend, you can earn some power quicker if you're a top contributor and you help defend. But when you want to level up, you go to the barracks. And then I would change the UI, of course, so there wouldn't be the spinny thing down here. I think up where the enemies are, I'd have to move some things around. But I just have like 5 little blitz markers that are like grayed out and empty. And every time you get a blitz, it would like pop up on the screen like blitz, and then go sock it into one of those slots. And then once it gets to 5, then the last marker maybe be that challenge thing. And then it would do what it does now with like the challenge wave. And then when you win, you get power. The supply you get from challenge waves, which allows you to continuously earn more experience from training, which I think is important. I think I'll just handle that by dramatically increasing the rate at which supply drops. And maybe those supply drops would increase over time. I don't know. I'll have to play around with the balance. But that also would kind of tamper down the current snowball effect. I did do one snow level. This is the one I've done so far. So the rest will probably have this feel. Because right now in the game, there's a big difference between if you are able to train a lot and if you're not. I think there's too much emphasis on training right now to where a lot of new players are just losing very early. Losing on wave 20, and they have no idea why. It's just because they didn't train too much. And if you train a bunch, then you can go really far. I want to keep that to some degree, but it just feels really punishing to new players. And so if you're automatically getting that supply instead of having to earn the challenge waves, then it's not so punishing if you miss one challenge wave or if you're not able to train as much. And it really, I think, hopefully gives players a little bit more autonomy. This one's still called Wandering Fields, even though it's a totally different map, but Wandering Fields still felt appropriate, and I really don't like the current Wandering Fields. So as you can see, I've only kept, I think, 3 of the existing maps. The other 7 are going to be gone or replaced, and then there'll be 22 brand new maps. So sorry to interweave all the information there. Hopefully the Blitz system came through, but I would love any feedback that you have, especially veteran players. Am I about to make a big mistake? Because it's probably 30, 40 hours worth of work to replace that system. Of course, I'm using version control. I'll have a backup. We can revert if it doesn't work out, but I would be bummed if I went through all the work, put in that system, and then everyone's like, what? I hate this. Put it back. So I'm leaning towards doing it, but I will look for your feedback to make that final call. So let me know how you like this devlog. If more updates like this would be good. I have a few more big updates planned. I think this is the biggest update I've ever made to the game, but I have a lot of ideas. Really excited about the game right now. Really looking to push it to the finish line. But first, just want to make sure it's as good as it can be. And with this new art, probably get it to a few more streamers. I really want to start getting some clips. So if you see another streamer playing, especially once this new art is live, send me some clips. I want to put together a trailer, and I think that's kind of the best way to do it. It's just a trailer, just a bunch of clips of people playing the game, having fun. But yeah, I think this new art will make that trailer a little bit more appealing than the current art would. Let me know what you think. All right, thanks for watching.